Okay, so here we go. This is gonna be shaky. My first video, we're making butter, and I'm trying to get this angle as best as I can get it. Okay, here we go. So we're gonna take the whisk and make sure that it's locked into place. I like this better than the arm because this is my second time making butter and the whisk gets it done a lot quicker. This process and completion shouldn't take more than maybe 10, 15 minutes, depending on the speed you're using. Now, this is pretty useless, but I want to use all the pieces, so I'm going to put the splash guard on there. You're gonna need something to cover the top of the KitchenAid because this is gonna fly everywhere at some point in the mixing process. I'm using Trader Joe's organic heavy whipping cream. And two of these is going to make me a very large block of butter, which you'll see in the end. I need to weigh it to see how much I end up with. Close to a pound, I'm sure, but I'll input that information later. So these are just really diapers, cloth diapers, and I keep these on hand for cooking, straining things, even just cleaning, because you can wash them and bleach them. So I start pretty slow and I graduate up to about 8 for the speed. And I'm gonna let this go for close to 10 minutes. I will check on it from time to time just to make sure that I can stop it and push the cream down from the sides. You can see on my timer, here we are at about 5-6 minutes in. I set the timer for 10 minutes and this is where we are. Gorgeous. And delicious. This tastes way better than anything I've ever bought in the store. I'm not sure why. The first time I did add a little salt. This time I did not. You can salt it to taste because I just want to compare what I like, salted or non, since I'm making it at home now. Here's your buttermilk that's left over, and we are going to take this over to the sink and rinse it and try to get as much of the buttermilk out of the butter as possible. Now in the future, what I intend to try is dunking it in ice water so that the butter hardens a little bit more and is not so creamy while I'm trying to work it. But again, baby steps. This is just my second time making butter. Now shout out to all the trad wives because you can see that there is buttermilk and splash everywhere. So I'm not sure how those ladies make everything look so wonderfully neat. But in this kitchen, this is real life only. There's buttermilk everywhere. So this is the part where I'm thinking I need to strain and then move the butter immediately into cold water to kind of harden it to help with the squeezing process. This is super creamy, so you've got to have some control to try to squeeze but not just squish butter everywhere. And so I'm rinsing it with cold water and just again squeezing to get out any remaining buttermilk. It's going to help the butter to last longer, I understand. And then I'm just going to use that same cloth to squeeze out as much of the remaining moisture as I can. You need to have a piece of wax paper or parchment paper ready so that you can form whatever shape you're using. I'm going to make a block out of mine, but of course you'll need to wrap it. Saran may work, I don't know. I used wax paper the first time. This time I'm using parchment. Again, process of elimination. And here we go, forming our block. And this is the same spatula that I used to push the cream down to the sides. So just gonna wipe it off and use it to clean up my block. That's quite a lot of butter. I mean, this is probably 3 or 4 sticks. I'm sure it's a pound. And that's it. We're gonna close her up. I sound like a surgeon, but this is a surgical process. And there we have it, my butter and my buttermilk. And I'm gonna sit it in the fridge and let it harden. And yeah, perfect.